Good morning, guys. Ricky here with the Backpacking Scouter. Thought I'd go ahead and get this going early this morning. We're packing up and getting ready to get on the trail. But this morning we're going to have some climbing, and so I figured it would be easier for me to breathe and talk at the same time if we did it now. So last night was an okay night. We had a hard day yesterday, so it was a little tiring. Our camp spot here was pretty in a nice little area here in the valley, but it was a little lumpy, and so I think I kept waking up a lot and just not feeling level. And so I'm feeling a little chilly being next to the spring like we always have once we're near water. Puts a little more humidity in the air than we're used to. But other than that, got a decent sleep, I guess. I'm ready to start the day. Today should be a pretty nice day. We're going to get started here. We've got about 7 miles of climbing, and then we're going to hit the highest point on the Colorado Trail, which is somewhere around 13,000, I think 250 something foot. So it should be some nice views, I'm expecting. But we'll finish up segment 22 is what we're on right now. And then I think in around 8 miles or so, we'll hit segment 23 and see what that brings. But today we're going to keep doing like we've been doing and try to keep our average of around 20 something miles for the day. But I think today that's going to mean a little bit of incline. We're going to have about 4,500 foot of incline. So should make for an interesting day. But from what I can tell from looking at things, it looks like there's going to be a lot of beautiful views and stuff for it. So we'll make sure to capture a lot of that for you and let you see it. And keep up with us, and we'll see you on the trail. honor of Willa. Hey guys, so we made it to camp. Man, was today a beautiful day. Had no idea what to expect for the day and what we were going to be doing and what we were going to be into, but boy, it was beautiful. So we finished up segment 23, I believe. No, 22. And then started 23. And I'll tell you, whereas the first part of 22, I said yesterday, was horrible, yucky, roads, sun, all this kind of stuff. Today made up the other half tenfold. It was gorgeous. I mean, you're literally just rolling from one mound to the other. I'm sure you guys just got through watching a whole bunch of amazing clips. I'm telling you, if you've not done this section of Colorado and the Colorado Trail, you've got to get out and do this. It's just gorgeous. And then 23 ended up really just adding into it as well. It was a long day and a hard day. We did 20 and a half miles. And out of that, I think 4,500 or 4,600 of it was elevation gain. So it was just literally climbing one mountain after another, after another, after another, all day, even into the end of the day. We were 0.7 miles. We literally got up to the top of the peak on one of them. Got to a little kind of snow melt lake, filtered out some water, and then walked down about 3/4 of a mile just to get kind of not on the high side. We're not really expecting any thunderstorms tonight, so I think we're going to be okay. We are a little exposed where we're at, but there's really not a lot of options in these sections. Pretty much the last 10 miles have been exposed, and a good portion going forward would have been as well. So we did well. We made it here. I'm feeling it a little bit, maybe not as bad as the last few days, but definitely still sore. It was a lot of uphill. Tomorrow we have a pretty big goal for ourselves. Originally my next resupply was supposed to be at Molas Lake Campground.
not too far off of the Colorado Trail, and so it keeps us from having to go into Silverton and get off trail. And so I shipped a box there. With the intentions on the schedule would be that we'd probably be there around Wednesday. Right now, we looked at the schedule today. Liam and I was looking at it, and we got 24 miles to the campground tomorrow. And it looks like there's a lot more downhill than there is uphill. Still a little good, decent amount of uphill, it claims, but I'm really not understanding how, because it doesn't really look like that much on the graph. But either way, our plan is to try to get up a little earlier, get on the trail a little early, and then see if we can't just go ahead and knock out those 24. Tomorrow's Tuesday, day 19. We're not scheduled to be there until Wednesday, so this would put us ahead of schedule. But the nice thing is the campground has showers, and they have a camp store with some different foods and other things that we could potentially indulge ourselves with, and we could charge our devices and some of those things. So if we can manage to get there early and get there tomorrow, then that'll give us overnight to do some of that, and then we can have a late start on the next day as we get out. So we'll see. We've got backup plans where if we're making it through the day and we don't feel like we're making the mileage that we want, we'll just pull up and put tents up at 3 or 4 miles or whatever before we get to Molask Lake and call it there, and then just go in early Wednesday morning and do some of the same things. We can still shower and do those kind of things. So it's been a super amazing day. Like I said, for me, my wife commented once on, when I got a little bit of service, I sent her a snippet video of a few days ago, and she's like, "Oh, it looks like you're walking through the Lord of the Rings." And I texted her today on the Garmin because we don't have service where we're at now, and I said, if anything's like the Lord of the Rings, it's definitely today. Man, it's just been in the middle of nowhere. You don't see roads around, you don't see people as much. We've barely seen, just a few of the other Colorado trail hikers today. It's just been gorgeous. So loved the day. Can't say much more about it. Now we've just finished up eating our dinner, watching the sun go down. You can see it's kind of starting to go down behind the mountains behind me. It's gonna start getting cooler. We're gonna finish up some of our camp chores here and call it a day. I really do appreciate everybody that's been watching. As I've mentioned many times before, if you like what you're seeing and you want to see the rest, in order to get notifications on when the next videos come out, hit like and subscribe, and we'll make sure that you get the notifications. But thanks everything that you guys are doing and just kind of keeping along with us. This has been one heck of a journey. We're down to only like 5 segments left. We're looking at an estimate, if we keep up our same pace, of around 5 days left. We're expected to be in Durango on Saturday. So super excited. We've already been talking about what we want to eat when we get off a trail and what we want to do. So just can't look forward to the next few days. So outside of all of that, you guys have a marvelous night, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.